Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, champions of life, are you ready to rise up? Are you ready to tap into the ultimate source of power, purpose, and passion? I'm talking about something greater than yourself. I'm talking about the force that created the universe, the force that breathes life into your lungs every single day. I'm talking about God. And today I'm here to tell you, if you want to live a life of meaning, a life of impact, a life of unstoppable success, you've got to put God. Now let me ask you something. How many of you have ever felt lost? Like you're spinning your wheels, working so hard, but something's still missing. You've got the job, the car, the house, maybe even the relationship, but deep down, there's a void. You feel it, don't you? That's because you're trying to fill that void with everything but the one thing that can truly fulfill you. You're chasing success, chasing money, chasing approval, but you're leaving out the most important piece of the puzzle, God. When you put God first, everything else falls into place. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about a relationship, a connection, a partnership with the creator of the universe. When you align yourself with his will, when you surrender your plans to his purpose, you tap into a power that is unstoppable. You become unstoppable. Think about it. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? Do you grab your phone and check your emails? Do you scroll through social media comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel? Or do you take a moment to connect with God, to thank him for another day, to seek his guidance, to ask him to lead your steps? Because let me tell you something, when you start your day with God, you start your day with power. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Tony, I've got goals, I've got dreams, I've got bills to pay and a family to provide for. I don't have time to put God first. But here's the reality, you don't have time not to. Because when you put God first, he multiplies your time, he multiplies your resources. He opens doors that no man can shut. He gives you wisdom, clarity, and strength to overcome every obstacle, to crush every challenge, to rise above every limitation. Let me give you a challenge. For the next 30 days, I want you to put God first. Before you check your phone, before you turn on the TV, before you dive into your to-do list, take 10 minutes to pray, to meditate, to read his word, to just be in his presence and watch what happens. Watch how your perspective shifts. Watch how your stress melts away. Watch how opportunities start showing up out of nowhere. Watch how your relationships improve, how your creativity explodes, how your joy overflows. And because here's the secret, God doesn't just want to be a part of your life, he wants to be the center of your life. He wants to guide you, to bless you, to use you for something greater than you could ever imagine. But you've got to let him. You've got to surrender. You've got to say, God, not my will, but your will be done. And when you do that, when you put him first, he will take you places you never dreamed possible. So I ask you again, are you ready to live a life of purpose? Are you ready to live a life of power? Are you ready to live a life that leaves a legacy? Then make the decision today, right here, right now. Decide to put God first. Decide to trust him. Decide to follow him. And watch as he transforms your life from the inside out. Because when you put God first, you don't just survive, you thrive. You don't just exist, you live. You don't just dream, you achieve. So go out there and make it happen. Put God first and watch your life become a masterpiece. God bless you, and let's go change the world. Alignment with a higher purpose leads to fulfillment because it connects you to something greater than yourself. Something that transcends the temporary and the material. When you put God first, you are no longer living for yourself alone. You are living for a purpose that is eternal and unchanging. This shift in perspective transforms how you see the world, how you approach challenges, and how you define success. It's not about what you can achieve on your own, but about what you can accomplish when you are aligned with the divine will of God. Think about it. How many people spend their lives chasing after things that ultimately leave them empty? They work tirelessly for promotions, accumulate wealth, and strive for recognition, only to find that these things don't bring lasting satisfaction. Why? Because these pursuits are finite. They are temporary. They can't fill the void in your soul that was designed to be filled by something eternal. That something is God. When you align your life with His purpose, you tap into a source of fulfillment that never runs dry. You begin to see your life as part of a bigger picture, a grander plan that is far greater than anything you could imagine on your own. Alignment with a higher purpose also brings clarity. When you put God first, you gain a sense of direction that cuts through the noise and confusion of life. You no longer have to rely on your own limited understanding or make decisions based on fear or uncertainty. Instead, you can trust that God is guiding your steps, leading you toward the path that He has prepared for you. This doesn't mean that life will always be easy or that you won't face challenges. But it does mean that you will have the confidence and peace of knowing that you are exactly where you are supposed to be, doing exactly what you are supposed to be doing. This clarity extends to every area of your life. When you are aligned with God's purpose, you begin to see your work, your relationships, and your daily activities in a new light. You realize that everything you do has the potential to be an act of worship, an opportunity to glorify God and serve others. Whether you are sweeping floors or running a Fortune 500 company, you can find meaning and fulfillment in knowing that you are contributing to something greater than yourself. This sense of purpose transforms even the most mundane tasks into opportunities for growth and impact. Alignment with a higher purpose also brings a deep sense of peace. When you put God first, you no longer have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You can trust that God is in control, that He is working all things together for your good. This doesn't mean that you won't face difficulties or hardships, but it does mean that you can face them with confidence, knowing that God is with you every step of the way. You can rest in the assurance that His plans for you are good, that He has a future and a hope for you. This peace is not dependent on your circumstances. It is rooted in the unchanging nature of God. This peace also frees you from the need to compare yourself to others. When you are aligned with God's purpose, you no longer have to measure your worth by the standards of the world. You don't have to worry about keeping up with the Joneses or proving yourself to anyone. You can be content with who you are and where you are, knowing that you are exactly where God wants you to be. This doesn't mean that you stop striving for growth or improvement, but it does mean that you can pursue those things from a place of security and confidence rather than fear or insecurity. Alignment with a higher purpose also brings a sense of joy that is not dependent on external circumstances. When you put God first, you begin to experience the joy of His presence, the joy of knowing that you are loved and accepted just as you are. This joy is not fleeting or temporary. It is deep and abiding. It sustains you through the ups and downs of life, giving you the strength to keep going even when things are tough. This joy is not something that you can manufacture on your own. It is a gift from God, a fruit of His Spirit that grows in your life as you draw closer to Him. This joy also spills over into your relationships. When you are aligned with God's purpose, you begin to see others through His eyes. You see their worth and value, not because of what they can do for you, but because they are created in the image of God. This perspective transforms how you interact with others, leading to deeper, more meaningful connections. You begin to love others not out of obligation or expectation, but out of the overflow of God's love in your own life. This love is patient, kind, and selfless, reflecting the character of God himself. Alignment with a higher purpose also brings a sense of gratitude. When you put God first, you begin to see all the blessings in your life as gifts from him. You realize that every good thing comes from his hand, and this realization fills your heart with gratitude. This gratitude transforms your perspective, helping you to focus on what you have rather than what you lack. It shifts your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance, allowing you to live with a spirit of generosity and thankfulness. This gratitude also fuels your faith. When you're aligned with God's purpose, you begin to see his hand at work in every area of your life. You see the ways he has provided for you, protected you, and guided you, even when you didn't realize it at the time. This awareness strengthens your faith, helping you to trust him more fully and to rely on him more completely. It reminds you that he is faithful, that he is always with you, and that he will never leave you or forsake you. Alignment with a higher purpose also brings a sense of hope. When you put God first, you begin to live with an eternal perspective. You realize that this life is not all there is, that there is a greater reality waiting for you beyond this world. This hope sustains you through the trials and challenges of life, giving you the strength to keep going even when things seem bleak. It reminds you that no matter what you are facing, it is only temporary, and that one day all things will be made new. This hope also inspires you to live with purpose and passion. When you are aligned with God's purpose, you begin to see your life as a mission, a calling to make a difference in the world. You realize that you have been uniquely gifted and equipped to fulfill a specific role in God's plan. And this realization fills you with a sense of urgency and determination. You no longer live for yourself. You live for something greater, something that will outlast you and leave a lasting impact on the world. Alignment with a higher purpose also brings a sense of freedom. When you put God first, you are no longer bound by the expectations and opinions of others. You are free to be who God created you to be, to pursue the dreams he has placed in your heart, and to live a life that is authentic and true to your calling. This freedom allows you to live with boldness and courage, knowing that you are walking in the will of God. Alignment with a higher purpose leads to fulfillment because it connects you to the source of all meaning, joy, and peace. When you put God first, you tap into a power that is greater than yourself, a power that transforms every area of your life. You gain clarity, peace, joy, gratitude, hope, and freedom, all of which contribute to a life that is rich, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. So, if you want to live a life of purpose and impact, start by putting God first. Align your life with his will and watch as he transforms your world from the inside out. Surrender and trust unlock divine power because they shift the focus from self-reliance to reliance on God. When you surrender your plans, your fears, and your need for control, you open yourself up to the infinite wisdom, strength, and provision of God. This act of surrender is not a sign of weakness. It is an acknowledgement of your humanity and a recognition of God's sovereignty. It is the ultimate act of faith, a declaration that you trust God more than you trust yourself. And when you place that trust in him, you unleash a power that is beyond anything you could ever achieve on your own. Surrender begins with letting go of the need to control every outcome, letting go of the fear of failure, and letting go of the belief that you have to do everything on your own. It's about releasing the grip you have on your life and saying, God, I can't do this without you. I need your guidance, your strength, and your wisdom. This act of surrender is liberating because it frees you from the burden of trying to figure everything out on your own. It allows you to step into a place of rest, knowing that God is in control and that He is working all things together for your good. Trust is the natural companion to surrender. When you surrender, you are essentially saying, I trust you, God. You are trusting that His plans for you are better than your own, that His timing is perfect, and that His ways are higher than your ways. This trust is not blind. It is built on the foundation of God's character. He is faithful, He is loving, and He is all-powerful. When you trust Him, you are aligning yourself with the one who holds the universe in His hands, the one who knows the end from the beginning, and the one who has promised to never leave you nor forsake you. This trust unlocks divine power because it allows God to work in and through you in ways that you could never imagine. When you are no longer relying on your own strength, you create space for God to move. You begin to see His hand at work in your life, opening doors that no man can shut, providing resources that you didn't know existed, and giving you wisdom that surpasses human understanding. This divine power is not something you can manufacture or manipulate. It is a gift that flows from your relationship with God. It is the result of surrendering your will to His and trusting Him to lead the way. Surrender and trust also bring peace. When you let go of the need to control and place your trust in God, you experience a peace that surpasses all understanding. This peace is not dependent on your circumstances. It is rooted in the unchanging nature of God. It is the assurance that no matter what you are facing, God is with you and He is working everything out for your good. This peace allows you to face challenges with confidence, knowing that you are not alone and that you have the power of God on your side. This peace also frees you from the grip of fear. Fear is often rooted in the unknown, in the uncertainty of what the future holds. But when you surrender and trust God, you no longer have to fear the unknown because you know that God is already there. He knows what lies ahead, and He has already made a way for you. This assurance allows you to step out in faith, even when the path ahead is unclear. It gives you the courage to take risks, to pursue your dreams, and to face your fears head on, knowing that God is with you every step of the way. Surrender and trust also bring clarity. When you are no longer consumed by your own plans and desires, you create space to hear from God. You begin to discern His voice more clearly, to understand His will for your life, and to see the path He has laid out for you. This clarity allows you to make decisions with confidence, knowing that you are walking in alignment with God's purpose. It also helps you to prioritize what truly matters, to focus on the things that have eternal significance, and to let go of the things that are merely distractions. This clarity extends to your relationships as well. When you surrender and trust God, you begin to see others through His eyes. You see their worth and value, not because of what they can do for you, but because they are created in the image of God. This perspective transforms how you interact with others, leading to deeper, more meaningful connections. You begin to love others not out of obligation or expectation, but out of the overflow of God's love in your own life. This love is patient, kind, and selfless, reflecting the character of God Himself. Surrender and trust also bring strength. When you are no longer relying on your own power, you tap into the limitless strength of God. This strength allows you to endure trials and challenges with perseverance and resilience. It gives you the ability to keep going even when you feel like giving up, to stand firm in the face of adversity, and to overcome obstacles that seem insurmountable. This strength is not something you can muster on your own. It is a gift from God, a result of surrendering your weakness and trusting in his power. This strength also empowers you to live boldly and courageously. When you know that God is with you and that he is fighting for you, you can step out in faith and take risks. You can pursue your dreams with confidence, knowing that God is guiding your steps and that he will provide everything you need along the way. This boldness is not reckless. It is rooted in the assurance that God is in control and that he will never let you down. Surrender and trust also bring provision. When you let go of your own plans and trust God to provide, you begin to see his hand at work in your life in miraculous ways. He provides for your needs in ways that you could never have imagined, often using unexpected sources and circumstances. This provision is not just financial, it includes wisdom, guidance, relationships, and opportunities. When you trust God to provide, you no longer have to worry about how things will work out. You can rest in the assurance that God will take care of you and that he will always give you what you need when you need it. This provision also allows you to live generously. When you trust God to provide for your needs, you are free to give to others without fear or hesitation. You can be a blessing to those around you, knowing that God will always take care of you. This generosity reflects the heart of God and allows you to be a conduit of his love and provision to others. Surrender and trust also bring transformation. When you let go of your own plans and allow God to work in your life, he begins to transform you from the inside out. He changes your heart, your mind, and your character, molding you into the person he created you to be. This transformation is not always easy or comfortable, but it is always for your good. It allows you to become more like Christ, to reflect his love and grace to the world, and to fulfill the purpose he has for your life. This transformation also impacts the world around you. When you surrender and trust God, you become a vessel for his power and love. You begin to impact the lives of those around you, bringing hope, healing, and transformation to your family, your community, and your world. This impact is not something you can achieve on your own. It is the result of God working in and through you. Surrender and trust unlock divine power because they shift the focus from self-reliance to reliance on God. When you surrender your plans, your fears, and your need for control, and when you trust God to lead the way, you tap into a power that is beyond anything you could ever achieve on your own. This power brings peace, clarity, strength, provision, and transformation, allowing you to live a life that is rich, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. So if you want to experience the fullness of God's power in your life, start by surrendering and trusting him. Let go of your own plans, place your trust in him, and watch as he works miracles in and through you.